Welcome back. My name is B, and this is a concluding episode of our topic on friendship. To get started, I'm going to be quoting from this book titled The Secrets of the Richest Man Who Ever Lived by Mike Murdock. And on page 48, he said something. He said, "You will only succeed in life to the degree you succeed with people." That is really life transforming. That is foundational to us. If we do not succeed, that's with people, we probably will struggle succeeding in other areas of our lives. That's why human resources is the most difficult resources to unearth and to manage. And to help us in looking for the right friend, we need to ask God for a friend. We need to pray for God to help us open our eyes to see and identify who is the right person to be in our lives. Like I said in the earlier episode, that friends are in our lives for different reasons, different seasons, and different times. If you missed that, you might want to go back and listen to that episode. The link will be in the caption below. When you identify the fact that you want a friend, you always want a friend. You never want to need a friend. A needy person is open to abuse. So let friendship be something that is coming out of your place of want. The only person that is able to meet the needs in our life is God. And when we put men in the place of God, we are going to end up destroying them, or they will destroy us by our need. So we have to prepare for it. We have to be intentional about every friend that comes into our lives. We need to know what they need from us, what it is, why has God brought this person into our lives, and why are we in these people's life. And so when we do that, He will help us avoid those toxic and dysfunctional relationship that we go into. And I'm telling you, I've had some of those in my life. They have been learning curve. Would I like not to have gone through it? Definitely, I'm sure you have too. A needy person, a needy relationship will leave you burnt out. It will leave you burdened. It will leave you stressed and frustrated. So we need to put our focus on God. The Bible says God is able to meet all our needs. So our need needs to come supplied by God. And then from that place of being full of Him, we begin to reach out and want other people in our lives so we don't damage them or they don't come in and damage us. If we are entering into a relationship with anyone, we need to follow the counsel of Amos. He said that we should make sure we have the same goals. He says, can two walk together except they agree? You don't want to walk with somebody that is contrary to you. That relationship will be fraught with all manner of strife and anger and he said and she said, misunderstanding and miscommunication. So make sure that we're going the same way. That's the whole point of relationship. The Bible says that when two lie together, one person will keep the other one warm. He says if you fall, the other will lift you up. That's the whole point of relationship. Iron sharpens iron. So a man, the countenance of his friends. That's what friendship, God's way, is meant to be for us. And so once we have identified, our need for a friend, we've prayed about it, we know the purpose, we begin to walk towards that purpose. And how do we discover that? By sitting down to have conversations. We need to ask questions. We need to listen to what that person is genuinely telling us. They typically say that when someone tells you who they are, the very first time you meet them, you need to believe it. I had a friend a long time ago that told me, his mom used to tell him, he could be really mean and wicked. And I'm like, oh no, you're so gentle. Your mom doesn't know what she's talking about. But listen, eventually, the day I saw him in action, I knew where his mother was coming from. So listen, really, when people tell you this is me, that they're telling you the truth, and be intentional about sitting down to ask questions. I listened to Kemi Oyedepo's tape when she was talking about courtship with her husband. She's like, our courtship days was as if we were going to school, because we sit down together, we ask each other questions, we write down, we're intentional about what we want our lives to be after we are married. But most of us don't do that. We just fall into relationship. We meet someone, it's like, hello, hi, and we find out we like some things or agree on some things, and we finally conclude, this is my friend. But when we go out and seek, to know the person, to ask questions, to also let the person know, what we are all about, then we're being intentional about making friends. I remember Pastor Yemi Davis saying that he had approached Bishop Oyedepo to be a spiritual father. And then he itemized what he wanted from that relationship. He wrote it down and he took it to Bishop and said, I need you to sign. This is our agreement. This is our covenant terms. And Bishop Oyedepo was like, really? Well, you sign it and I'll sign it. He was being intentional. He was being deliberate. When we do things like that, we are trying to limit, safeguard, and eliminate errors in our relationship. It may look like, oh, we don't have to do all of that, but we have to. If we're going to succeed, we have to be intentional. And being in a relationship, we have to be honest. I need to know why I want this person in my life and why they want me, and be honest about what my fault. We don't need to pretend. A long time ago I read a book and the lady was talking about why people fail in marriage is often because when you go into courtship, you put your best foot forward. And so when we do that, we put our first foot forward. We're not being honest with ourselves. We're not really projecting our true self to that person, and the person is also not projecting, and so the relationship is fraught. So let's be honest about what our goals are. If you are wanting to learn from someone, let them know clearly, these are the things I like and admire, and I want to be like that. I want to learn how you do it. Don't pretend like that's not what you're after, because nobody likes to be used like that. Then after that, be deliberate at meeting this person, making time out for your friends. Friendship is about sacrifice, so be deliberate about making time out to spend time with the person. I always say, whoever you don't communicate with, the relationship will die pretty fast. It's communication that sustains every relationship. Deliberate, open, honest communication. The Bible says Adam and Eve were in the garden, they were naked and not ashamed. We should be in a relationship where we can be vulnerable, and know that our vulnerability will not be used against us when we are in a relationship. Every relationship is built. Somebody is building. Most of the time, one person is actually sustaining the relationship. That person gets drained. So be a willing participant in every relationship. Pursue relationship the way you pursue whatever is important to you. If that person is important to you, please take the time to pursue them, seek them, look for them, find them. Be yourself. Say what you truly believe. Any relationship where you're afraid to be you, to say what you believe, to do what you really enjoy doing, it's a controlling relationship. Eventually, it's going to lead to abuse and manipulation. And not just in men to women relationship, even with women. I always say I try to stay away from people that are manipulative. If someone is manipulative in this area of their life, they probably are in others. And as we begin to look up to God for godly relationship, we'll begin to see success in our lives. Trust God all the way, and remember that the builder of everything is God. The whole essence of relationship is individuality and what each person brings and what we bring to the table for each person in our lives. Well, at this point, I'll take a break and see you next time on Ancient Secret.